What's up? How y'all doing? I'm back at it. We're gonna go live for a little second. I just realized lately that social media, uh, whether it was Twitter, Black Twitter especially, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, Instagram, especially TikTok than Instagram, has taught us more than any book ever has. Social media has taught us more than any book ever has. Check this out. When I was growing up, Paris was so sophisticated, so sexy, so nice, so amazing, so beautiful. The Eiffel Tower, yada, yada, yada. Just 10 out of 10. Beautiful buildings, the mansion of the Palace of Versailles, different things like that. Social media taught us Paris is trash. It's stank. Let's check this out. Check this out. Paris. What's the Paris thing? I type it, no, Paris Sink. I type it Paris Sink, Paris thing. It's stinking Paris. Like I saw one dude. If I can find him, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, dude.
Y'all save all y'all money, all y'all lives to come here. Let me be the one to break your bubble. First of all, Paris stink. It smelled like piss, cheese, and armpit. Child, eating the damn pigeons was crazy. And ain't nothing to do but eat at cafes. You will see a cafe on every corner because there's no activities here and the food is so mid. That's why there's hella fast food, American fast food chains, because their food don't taste like shit. And that shit look grimy as hell. Paris look grimy as hell and dungeon. Post-apocalyptic. Everywhere you go, it was graffiti. The buildings weren't inviting. They weren't welcoming. It was actually a horror sight to see. Like, this was shocking to me. They will never show you that this is what Paris really looks like. In the Eiffel Tower, child, this was the trail to the Eiffel damn Tower. This was the most hype shit I've ever seen. Outside of this tower, ain't shit to do. There's no mime culture. They don't know how to capitalize off their culture. It's just this damn tower. That's it. She deserves a crown.
You can read a book. Like there's just so many videos like this. Like yo, Paris stank. Paris is trash. Let's look at the comments. Did y'all see the interview where Ice Spice said it must be a garbage day? She was in London. LOL. Then we go to the same Paris. I've been 4 times. Can't wait for the fifth. Like people said,
Did you know that there's actually a good reason why the city of Paris always smells like pee? Now that the city boasts about having more than 700.
It's not true. Summertime.
Why don't French people use deodorant? You guys have probably heard on this app that Europe doesn't have any AC, and that's one thing that doesn't shock me anymore. So I prepare myself to be hot. But the one thing I cannot get over, especially when I come to France, is the level of funk that is exuding from these people.
Then you see like these old little video, little documentaries where, like back in the day, like the 1800s or whatever, they was taking a shower once a month. The Palace of Versailles don't even have toilets. Like you just go shit a bucket on the side. Like this shit is crazy. How social media has taught us all this. Like what the fuck? We're gonna come. Been to Europe twice, and they believe in natural body scent. I believe in soap, water, and deodorant. Like, yo, like Stick said, the level of funk coming from these people, nigga, this shit's crazy.
Paris right now for Men's Fashion Week,
And somebody said, why India get a bad rap in Paris? No.
and I have been in cars all morning from like 7 a.m. until like an hour ago. So I was with my friends having drinks, and I said, you know what? Let me take the train. I get on the train, bro. Everyone around me smells like onions on a hot day and a bowl of spoiled eggs roasting inside of spoiled milk.
Like, that's crazy. Like, social media has taught us so much. Like, listen, Paris might be a fucking third world. I mean, not Paris, France. Maybe a third world country.
What the fuck? Y'all don't smell yourselves? Like, serious question. Like, it's 75 degrees, but it's like 100% humidity. That car smelled like thick funk. You don't smell yourself? Like, wow. My nose is offended and it wants to call the cops. Fucking wash yourself. Bye. Why don't
Here are
Why can't go
here
there?
are
Okay.
5 reasons why I think France just kind of smells. Now, these are personal reasons. I'm very
Yeah,
thankful to
I
this
had
country,
no idea
France,
about
that is
this.
letting me live here. But as an American living in France, there are just some things about this country that sometimes gives it an unpleasant odor. Now, the first
The comments say the toilet forks back. What the fuck? Nigga, that's a cold ass comment right there. She probably said that.
reason is probably the most obvious. Everyone here smokes cigarettes. Almost everyone. And as someone that doesn't smoke, no judgment to people who smoke cigarettes. I mean, it's your own life. You can do what you want. But it personally makes me nauseous. I hate the smell of it. So I just want you, if you're coming to visit France, you're thinking about moving here, just know that every time you see a cute picture of a cute little French cafe, you're like, oh, it'd be so fun to go. You're going to sit down, order your coffee, and 30 seconds later, someone is going to sit next to you and start smoking a cigarette. So every time you see that cute little picture, just smell the smell of cigarette smoke. And that is what France is like. The second reason is I have found it is sometimes culturally normal to not pick up your dog's poop. So you'll just be walking and you see a lot of dog poop on the ground, and it'll smell like dog poop. Thirdly, French cheeses. Now, I know France is famous for their French fancy cheese, and sometimes they can taste really, really good, but most of them have a very specific smell. They're very pungent. Did you know that it is illegal to carry certain French cheeses on the train because they are so pungent? And I don't know, there are just they make my entire house smell. I'm trying to be adventurous, trying these French cheeses. They smell. The fourth reason is because French plumbing is very, very old. At least I think this is the reason why. Because my toilet, it's almost like it burps, or maybe fart is a better word, farts up a horrible smell, and it's from the plumbing. It is not from my toilet. It's not from me, from my bathroom. It's all clean. And it's not just my toilet. I have found this to be true to almost every toilet that I experience in France. There's just like a smell coming up from the plumbing that smells horrible. And I think it's just because France is a very old country. And the last reason, which is probably the least strong reason that I have, is that it seems among some French men specifically to not have the best hygiene or wear deodorant. And so oftentimes they smell. And I know this is very culturally normal for a lot of countries. So I'm not judging. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying in my experience, it smells bad.
This is like my
Yeah, I want to check out the Black Girl, and then we're gonna find some other stuff.
this is like my 7th or 8th time here in Paris. I would never get used to the stench. Like, this is, baby, I hopped on that train and hopped right the fuck back off because, excuse me, not only was it scorching hot on that car, but everybody and their mama or whoever was just around there in that area in the back car, funky. Like, I need y'all to use soap and water, no aluminum free deodorant. It's 90 cash out here. Please. Shit. This is like my 7th.
They talking about how Versailles don't got no fucking Versailles states. Versailles smell.
Did you know that Versailles actually stunk? This royal palace smelled like an outhouse. Why did Versailles smell so bad? Number one, it was built on marshland. When you talk about the king being on the throne, he literally would just go in front of you. It was built with no bathrooms. It was open to the public, so there could be 10.
Like, yo, like, the history books don't tell us this. This shit is nasty. Now, they say, and this white lady one time tell me, yeah, y'all came over, but we were still sleeping in barns with pigs. You know, y'all had palaces and shit.
1,000 people walking through the palace at any time. They would pee literally all over the place. During the 18th and 19th centuries, chamber pots were used a lot, and they would typically be thrown in a cesspit or just out the window. Marie Antoinette was actually hit with human waste by just taking a walk out to the gardens, and the gardens smelled really bad too. Many royal palaces were disgusting like this, but Versailles was worse because of the sheer size of Versailles. It was basically known as a large, giant outhouse. Did you know?
Do you know how? Can you imagine European nobles? While the Maya were bathing up to twice a day on the other side of the world in the Grand Palace of Versailles, the nobility lived among marble, velvet, and urine. The most luxurious palace in Europe reeked, literally, of pee. Courtiers relieved themselves behind curtains, in hallways, and even on the stairs. Chamber pots were hidden under beds, and servants emptied them whenever they could. Bathing once a month was already considered excessive. Some went years without touching water. They covered sweat with powder, perfumed the dirt, and tried to mask the stench with feathered fans. All because they believed water made you sick, that soap weakened the body, that you should cover your body, not clean it. But across the ocean, in the stone and sun jungles, the Maya lived a different reality. To them, water was sacred. They bathed every morning, using volcanic ash, aromatic plants, and flowers as soap. They purified themselves in temazcales, stone steam baths, where the body sweated out impurity, and the soul was cleansed along with the skin. They built drainage systems, functional latrines, clean cities, in the middle of the jungle, and not out of vanity, but out of connection to
All this, I probably can't talk to no French girl. Spain right there too. Oh, no problem.
the divine. While Europe wore silk over filth, the Maya walked
Filthy.
barefoot but clean, understanding that a clean body is also a strong spirit. Two civilizations, one palace covered in golden excrement, and a culture that honored water as a god. While the Maya were bathing up to twice a day,
Let me see if I get back to that one.
The reason why
Okay. Let me see what they say on this.
younger white people today are racist is not because of the way black people act. They are racist more so nowadays is because they are the first group of white people in probably history to grow up with certain groups of black people being 100% under the law equal to them.
Bro, you ain't even got to go this deep. It's literally, especially with them young white boys, they're the first group, they're the first generation of white boys in this country that actually have to go out there and compete. They actually have to go out there and compete. That's where and I've talked about this before. That's literally why they're so upset. That's literally why they're so lost, so confused, and so have so much hatred for everything. Because they're the first, especially the young white boys, are the first generation of white people that have to go out there and they got to compete. They can't get by with just being a mediocre white person. They got to compete with. That's why the straight white male is having such a hard time right now. They got to compete with black people. They got to compete with women. They got to compete with trans or gay. Like, they can't just get by being a straight white male anymore. And that hurts them. Think about it. They saw their dads, they saw their grandfathers, they heard stories about their great grandfathers just going out there and getting opportunities and getting jobs and getting whatever simply because they were a straight white male. And they
I will say that you ever watch that movie Catch Me If You Can? Like that dude got away with so much because he was just a white male. Like, yo, lying, pretend to be a doctor, pretend to be a lawyer, all kind of shit. That I heard it one time they said some people, like I just saw a story this couple years back where dude was a doctor for like 20, 30 years. He took another job, and that's when they found out he never went to law. He never went to school. He just showed up one day and was like, "Yo, I'm a doctor." Let me see if I can find that in a minute.
grew up being told you're awesome because you're a straight white man. And they took their little straight white ass out there, and now they got to deal with. That's why you think they was so upset about DEI. Why you think they're so upset about illegal immigrants, H-1B1 visas and shit? Why you think they want to get rid of, or they support getting rid of all that shit? Even though the elite and the rich know damn well they ain't gonna do nothing about it because that's how they get away with cheap labor, and they know half of them fucking white boys ain't gonna work and they mediocre than a motherfucker. But they need them to feel like it's someone else's fault outside of they're just mediocre. White male mediocrity is a motherfucker. It is a motherfucker. They can't even, they even have a challenge with the fact that their women can openly go and fuck whoever the fuck they want now.
Asian TikTok is talking about this, so we're gonna go to Asian TikTok after this. How they talk about they got pick-me's about Asian girls picking white male mediocrity. I don't know how I got this, but weird.
They hate that shit. They hate. So not only they can't even keep their women from fucking black men no more. Because back when Jim Crow was going around, they could. The women would still want to fuck black men, but they could go and burn down whole towns and city over the shit. And she could be like, "Oh, he took advantage of me," and they burn the whole city down and lynch and throw everybody on a fucking tree. Can't even do that no more legally. But that's all it is. They gotta actually go out here and they gotta be worth the fuck now.
The reason why younger white people today are racist is not because of the way black people act. They are racist more so nowadays is because
So I found myself back in Asian people business, and this is what I found out. So they doing a light skin versus dark skin type shit in a community, and they beefing real bad because apparently all Asians don't like each other. So look, this is what's going on. So the Southeast Asians, those are like the brown skin Asians. Like
now, to be fair, I do notice human nature. It's like beefing, just beefing. You want to say Crips and Bloods? Only thing separate them is a street. Russia and Ukraine, only thing separate them is a town. Russia and America, they both white. Probably two countries beefing or two tribes beefing. Mexicans, it's probably like Mexico or Mexico and South America. It's just whoever you look to, close to. Japan and China, they beef because Japan was the white folks of the day. They would go take over, bomb, and all that stuff. So, yeah.
They darker, and the East Asians, they the light skins, right? So the East Asians be talking cash shit about the Southeast Asians. They be calling them all kinds of crazy names. Man, they coming out their body with the shit. They and they're talking about they calling them jungle people, monkey, Asian slave, Tarzan. This is not me saying this, by the way. Like, this is what they saying. But yeah, so they really divided amongst themselves. They also have a term for pick-me's in a community. They be calling the pick-me's pick-micos. Yeah, that's what they be calling them. And basically, the way that you're going to know that you have a pick-mico on your hand is that they be trying to act like extra Asian around white people. Like, they be trying to wear kimonos, but it don't even be like traditional kimonos. Like, they be trying to wear like that Fashion Nova shit with the plastic chopsticks and shit from the Party City. Like, they in there doing a lot around them white people, and they don't really fuck with that shit for real. Okay, so the last thing that I found out was that a lot of Asian people are starting to become more pro-black. Like, that's something that's really starting to become radicalized, like within a lot of their communities. If they're not a pick-mico, because if they're a pick-mico, you can count that shit the fuck out. They're not going to be pro-black, but everybody the fuck else, if they're younger, they are a lot more kind of pro-black. They really for the causes and shit, supporting Black Lives Matter, all kinds of shit, because they feel like that we be going through a lot of the same struggles and shit, and they be trying to unite with us. So that's what I found out. Comment if you want a part 3. So I found myself back
like TikTok and stuff like that. And I will say, before Elon Musk took over Twitter, that's how you found out about a lot of black things that happened, like whether it be this guy, I think it was in Georgia, running, just jogging one morning, a father and son killed him and stuff like that. So you found about a lot of black causes through Twitter, specifically Black Twitter. But Elon Musk took over, and that shit was crazy. I don't even know how they fucking did that shit. That's crazy.
I'm mad at Asian Americans because why are we so smart but so silent? What's with the silence? I suspect that if we opened our mouths, we would side with Black people and other brown people as the real American heroes. Yeah, we're brown, not white. But this would disrupt the white supremacy brainwash we're caught in. And deep down, we hate ourselves for siding with whiteness. We know they're wrong. Our silence is the sound of us hating ourselves. But that's the Squid Game trap that they set for us, an Asian American matrix that messes with our reality. And it's all based on hating Black people. You know, the ones we're all secretly trying to copy, even the white peoples. White supremacy isn't smart, but it's tricky like that. You like being tricked? I don't know any Asians who put up with that. We gotta decolonize ourselves and find Asian joy. Therein lies our voice.
I really am a nice person, but I can't stop myself from giving snark to the white people at Asian grocery stores. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I can't stop doing it. Like, I just
can't stop what?
Side eye every time I see you there. What are you doing here? And like, arguably, I could be in the right if they're like, taking up space loudly in the way. But I do it even when they're not. I do it when I just see you down the aisle way, picking out like your pre-made sushi. I'm over there like, and I know I'm wrong for it because like, especially if it's a small mom and pop grocery store, which I just got back from, like, go support them. Go support them. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just a bitch. I'm just a bitch. I'm a really nice girl, but I'm also a bitch. And I saw this one girl who was in the grocery store. She's like down the way with like blonde hair, and she's like looking at the packets or whatever. I give her this side eye. I'm looking at her. I see her giving me side eye back. She's like at me. I was like, I'm
gonna rant a little about Asians who want to be white so bad. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and she went to a gathering, right? These people are Asian, right? But there are two white guys. Someone brought the Malona ice cream. The girl, who's Asian, goes, "Ew, is it an Asian ice cream?" And then she'd make comments like, "I wouldn't know because I don't have an Asian friend." She made another comment that said something like, "This feels like a whole bunch of Asians playing with two super smart white guys, playing a word game," some shit like that. It's so cringe seeing Asian people try to cater to white people. Asian people act like proximity to whiteness makes them superior.
And they ain't the only people. It'd be Asians be trying to cater to white. It'd be Hispanics be trying to cater to white. If I see Black, a lot of times it's not Black American, but like, foreign Black, Nigerian, or maybe a French Black, but not American Black. So, but you do have some that be like they're like parts of banks, but they're not catering to white. That's just there.
You can literally feel the energy shift when someone has internalized racism. It's this weird.
So I found myself in Asian people business, and this is what the fuck I found out. So
I love this rundown of all the Asian tea. This creator is great. I just want to add to this list of like the percolating topics of Asian America, I guess. Yes, matcha was gentrified. Gentrifiers are now moving on to ube and pandan, and we are pissed about that. I'm half Southeast Asian, half East Asian, and East Asians absolutely do look down on Southeast Asians. I just want to add they also look down on South Asians, and how like West Asians like rarely get to even be in the conversation. If you have been following the Reed Choi drama, it's bringing up a lot of like East Asian, specifically Korean, religious conservative right-wing guys, and just people in general. Basically, he knowingly spread STDs to women, or STIs, I guess, chlamydia specifically, and allegedly herpes, but he constantly uses like religion to like mask any responsibility, and this is very echoing of most of the Asian community, like conservative Asians who like use religion to kind of make themselves adjacent to whiteness. And to be clear, that Asians side-eyeing white people at grocery stores, that discourse came from a half white, half Asian woman whose point of the story was that she side-eyed someone at the grocery store, and it turns out that they were both side-eyeing each other because they were both half white, half Asian. So it was actually more of a meditation on like, do I belong in a space? Am I Asian enough? But to other people's kind of knee-jerk reaction, the realities was it was set up in a very kind of inflammatory way that people only listened to the first 10 seconds of the story and then immediately started making videos about it. So I just want to like clear that up as well. You can add this in. And in like Black and Asian solidarity and pop culture, we all also agree that Cheryl Lee Ralph should have been Madame Morrible instead of Michelle Yeoh. Although we are gagged by the MM to Cheryl Lee Ralph should have been Madame Morrible instead. Solidarity and pop culture, we all also agree that Cheryl Lee Ralph should have been
Madam Morrible. Who the fuck is Madam Morrible? Okay, let me go down this rabbit hole. I guess I just write it. Cheryl Ralph, Madam Morrible. Okay.
Madame Morrible instead of Michelle Yeoh. Although we are gagged by the MM to WW moment. I don't know. Am I missing anything? Asian, sound off in the comments. Like, what else? What other of our drama are we missing out on that? That's kind of hilarious right now.
So I found myself in Asian people business, and this.
You see that? Big letters, M, Madame Marble.
Freaking out. Freaking out.
Oh, I guess this is something from that movie Wicked. It is Cheryl Ralph. Who is Cheryl Ralph?
Lives with HIV and you didn't know it.
Oh, that's
Cheryl
right.
Lee Ralph has spoken out on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Moesha. Okay, yeah. Both of them, each of them. Yeah, Moesha. Yeah, okay. So I don't know what happened. So
Lives with HIV and you didn't know it.
Celebrity.
Cheryl Lee Ralph has spoken out on fans saying she deserved the Madame Morrible role in Wicked more than Michelle Yeoh. Michelle's acting in the new Wicked movie has gotten a lot of attention online, and people are saying Michelle didn't deserve the role. Many are saying Cheryl's past work on the stage gave her a style they heavily liked, and they feel her version suited the musical more. The main thing people keep talking about is the singing. Michelle barely sings in the first film, and some viewers say that made her version feel less powerful. People have also said Michelle isn't very good at singing. Cheryl did the role on Broadway and has a long history with musicals. And fans keep saying her voice was perfect for Madame Morrible. Some fans also pointed out that John Chu wanted Michelle for the movie after working with her before, which is why the role went in a different direction. For viewers, that choice makes sense, but others say it feels like a missed moment for Cheryl. During all this, Cheryl has spoken out about people saying she deserved the role more. Underneath the post about it, Cheryl left a comment. In her comment, she wrote, "Don't ever say this. Michelle put 110% into that role. I am a firm believer that in the person that gets the role is always the right person." Her message shows she wants people to...
Okay. Okay, cool.
So I found myself in Asian people business, and this is what the fuck I found out.
What's this?
All right, I feel like as an Asian, I'm going to speak up about that whole video that went viral of.
I'm tired of Black people using the race card all the time and then be like, yeah, your ancestors enslaved.
What does anything you have to say?
So off the rip, I'm just gonna think Pick Miko, but I don't know why I did that. But look, let me just go start over.
I think my favorite. All right, I feel like
I'm tired of Black people using the race card all the time and then be like, yeah, your ancestors enslaved.
What does anything you have to say have to do with you or any other Asian? Like, for real, did your ancestors own any enslaved Africans? The answer is no. The conversations we should be having as Asians is why are we upholding white supremacy, namely certain Asian women? So instead of pandering to all those live, laugh, love fucking white girls in yoga pants on your comments, I'm going to give you some things to be concerned about. Filipinos who were forced to eat dog in a human zoo exhibit, the Chinese Immigration Exclusion Act, Japanese internment camps. And today in 2023, they are passing laws to prevent Asians from purchasing property in certain areas. And while you're at it, also look up how the Black community included Asians in the civil rights movement.
I encourage you and anyone who looks like you or me to look up the real history on how this country has treated the Asian community. Go wash some rice and stop being such a fucking pick-me.
I'm tired of Black people using the race card all the time.
Breaking news that isn't.
No.
Breaking news.
I think my favorite thing on TikTok right now is seeing Black people do the recaps of the mess here on Asian TikTok because it's so funny to me. On top of that, I'm a messy ass bitch, so yeah, I'm just messy. I'm a messy ass bitch. But if you want to know, like, if you want to know why you don't see that many Asian people up until now, like, speak up about like the anti-blackness in our community, or about like the need to be in proximity to whiteness, is because the people who are being platformed are predominantly the Asian people who enjoy their proximity to whiteness. Someone had to say it. So if you wanna get real messy, like I can get real messy. If you want me to get real messy, I can literally compile a list of people that you should unfollow who enjoy their proximity to whiteness. Let me know. I think my favorite.
Okay, that's it. Gonna wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think.